It's been a couple of years since I've tested out a new robot vacuum and mop. So I reached out to our friends at Eufy to see what they had to offer, and their latest device looks like to be a huge upgrade over what we currently have in our house. This here to my right is the new Eufy S1 Pro, which Eufy is calling the world's first floor washing robot vacuum with an all-in-one station. So let's check this out to see what makes the Eufy S1 Pro so special. The unboxing setup is pretty simple, especially if you're coming from another robot vacuum. The vacuum itself comes in its own box for a little bit of added protection. And I do want to point out that the design here looks incredibly sleek for the S1 Pro and the docking station itself. And this, I have to say, is always my favorite part of an unboxing. With the plastic removed, we can now get a closer look at the 3D Matrix Eye camera system, which includes 2 infrared cameras, and then there's just a standard RGB camera to complete the setup there. Flipping things over to the bottom, we can see what we're working with here. At the back, there's a large roller mop brush, which should provide a better cleaning experience. It also has a large wheel and some pretty decent suspension. This is great since we have about 1.5 inch ledge leading up to our kitchen that a lot of other robot vacuums have issues with getting over. And then in the front, there's the roller brush for the vacuum, which is pretty easy to get off, which means you can clean out the hair without any issues. As you'd expect, the vacuum does have spinner brushes at the front that move the dirt from the sides into the middle so they can be vacuumed up. And these snap on pretty easily. And you do get 2 extra ones included in the box just in case the ones that you're using do break. The top of the vacuum does attach magnetically, which is always a nice premium touch that you don't get on a lot of other devices. With basic instructions on the back side of the panel, just so that you don't have to remember where you put the instruction manual in case you don't remember how to do some of the operations here. And then there's the detachable dustbin at the back, but you really don't need to pull this out manually since the docking station will automatically empty it for you. And then on top of the unit, that's where you're going to find the main power button, which we're going to have to switch on here. As for the base station, it's definitely a little bit taller than most, but that does also mean that it's a little bit more compact from side to side, allowing it to fit in and squeeze into smaller areas in your home. On the back of the unit, this is where you're going to find a little panel that you remove to plug in the power cable. And I do like how they've also included a cable management system here so that you don't have excess cable that's visible on the outside, giving the whole setup just a cleaner look overall.
Clean water tank removed.
The clean water tank just pulls up from the top of the station. You will have to pull this up to install the floor cleaning solution. Now, the solution itself isn't required to use the mop, but it's nice to have the option if you want to get your floors a little bit cleaner, especially since they're including a free one in the box. This is also where you'll be able to access the dust bag.
Dust bag removed.
Eufy has one already installed here, but you do get an extra one included in the box as well, which is nice to have, and then you will have to buy additional ones after that. And then finally, once you fill up the water tank, you can just place it back on the top of the charging station.
Clean water tank installed.
Now, to get the Eufy S1 Pro connected to your smartphone, you will need to press the Wi-Fi button on the top of the vacuum and then walk through the setup process on the Eufy Clean app. Once it's all connected, the app will then just show you and walk you through the complete setup process to get started with mapping your house and then vacuuming and mopping as well. So now it's time to put the Eufy S1 Pro to the test. One thing that truly sets the S1 Pro apart from the competition is the innovative dual water tank system on the inside here that's continuously cleaning the mop roller brush here at the bottom. Most other mop systems on robot vacuums have mop pads that are only really cleaned when the vacuum returns to the dock, which means they're usually just spinning around dirty mop pads around on your floor rather than continuously cleaning everything as it's going along. So let's test this out with a blue Gatorade spill on the floor. It has no issues cleaning up the spill itself, but let's see what the mop roller looks like. It's still a little bit blue here, but it's much cleaner than what you would expect it to be with any other robot vacuum that has mop capabilities. And if you let it mop a little bit more, it's even cleaner after that. The roller mop is also just a whole lot better at cleaning up dried up stains like a 2-day-old coffee spill that most other robot vacuums wouldn't even be able to clean up completely. I have to say, the results of the mopping on the system is absolutely phenomenal and much better than what I've experienced in the past. Now, I will have to say, when the S1 Pro was first announced, I was a little bit skeptical since most other high-end robot vacuums do have a little LiDAR dome sitting at the top for 3D mapping and navigation, which Eufy has replaced with what they're calling the 3D Matrix Eye, with 3 cameras here at the front. With this setup though, the S1 Pro can sense 300,000 voxels at once, at 8 times per second, which is 750 times more than competing robot vacuums are capable of. The 3D Matrix Eye camera system allows for an incredibly precise 3D mapping of your house, while also allowing the vacuum to avoid obstacles that are as small as 3 centimeters, which is pretty small. Of course, I had to put them to the test rather than just taking their word for that. I added obstacles into the past and it spotted them and avoided them every single time. And there was even obstacles that were smaller than 3 centimeters, which I have to say is pretty impressive. And let's not forget that not having the LiDAR sensor on the top of the unit means that it can squeeze under your furniture as well, allowing it to clean other areas that other taller robot vacuums simply can't get to. With a dual water tank system in the S1 Pro and the self-cleaning roller mop, you'll need to switch out the clean and dirty water inside the Eufy UniClean station every couple of weeks, depending on how often the S1 Pro mops your floors. The 3-liter water tank allows it to mop up to 450 square meters, or about 4,800 square feet, before the water needs to be refilled and switched out. The base station also has a pretty unique feature that I haven't yet tested on any other unit, an ozone generator. When it's turned on, the built-in ozone generator electrolyzes tap water into hypochlorous acid and ozone for disinfection, eliminating up to 99.9% of bacteria. And to top it all off, it also has a built-in heater to dry out the mop itself. And the base station also has a display and some controls directly on top, but of course, you can also control everything directly from the Eufy Clean app, adding no-go zones for your map, designating areas that you shouldn't mop, and controlling the suction power, scheduled cleaning times, and a whole lot more. I have to say, after using this unit for the past week, I am pretty impressed. But more importantly, my wife has actually noticed the difference in how clean our floors are down on the first floor. So we'll definitely be sticking to the Eufy S1 Pro as our full-time replacement for the other robot vacuum and mop that we've been using for the last year or so. And honestly, we might actually pick one up for the second floor of our house. We'll have to wait and see. If you do want to pick one up for yourself, the Eufy S1 Pro has a retail price of $14.99. But if you check out the link in the video description below, you'll definitely be able to get the best prices with any deals that are currently going on. If you have any questions about this unit, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks to Eufy for sponsoring this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.